Welcome to another Full Curl Fitness Friday, where we put and keep sheep hunters on the mountain. Today, we're going to be talking about scaling. Scaling is basically the concept that you can take a movement pattern, for example, maybe a shoulder press. You can take that movement pattern and you can bring it down to wherever somebody is, or scale it upward to wherever somebody is. So, for example, I could take a handstand push-up and I could say, okay, today we're going to do handstand push-ups. And a bunch of you are rolling your eyes and saying, when hell freezes over, and I get that. However, this basic movement pattern, I could scale it down to where a 90-year-old patient sitting in a wheelchair is sitting there with 5-pound weights doing shoulder presses, right? And so I've scaled a handstand push-up to where somebody in a wheelchair that's very physically limited could be successful and do that, right? And so this is a very important concept because we can take movement patterns and we can get it to where someone is based off of their fitness level, injuries, limitations that keep them from doing more physically difficult things. And the idea is over time, as they get stronger, as they become more able, we scale upward and make it harder. So, for example, different ways we can think about scaling. I have these TRX straps. I can do a standing row, which is a good pull movement. And so when I'm more deconditioned, I'm standing more upright and I'm using less of my body weight. Alternatively, as I get stronger, I can scale, make it more difficult, and use more of my body weight until eventually I get so strong I can actually do pull-ups and things like that, right? Alternatively, with weighted movements, I'm just using less weights for something, for example, like a shoulder press. So I'm doing shoulder presses with maybe 5 or 10 pounds, and then I scale upwards to 15, 20, 30 as I get stronger. Um, so this is a really important concept for people with knee and ankle and other injuries. Maybe squatting is difficult. Maybe I start by squatting to a box or to an elevated surface, and I'm just sitting as far as I can, where I can still maintain form and be comfortable. And then as I get stronger, I sit lower and lower down, and I'm just going to build that confidence and strength. Eventually, I have a squat without any type of a target underneath me. I'm doing a free squat, and then eventually maybe I'm doing a weighted free squat. So again, just that concept, we dial things back to where we can be successful, and then we make them harder as we're more physically able. So that's what I have for you today. Please feel free to like and subscribe and share if you enjoy the content. Thank you for joining me, and have a great day.